So talk us through the moment when you decided I am starting my own company now.
My journey was a little bit different, and I actually left Microsoft to go to grad school. I got into Cambridge. I was going to go to the UK. I had a little bit of free time. I flew out to Boston to spend time with friends. We started working on a bunch of different projects. Nice venture capitalists gave us some office space to come in every day and work on different things. It felt like summer school, like a summer program. And it didn't feel like work. At the end of the summer, my co-founder had the option to go to Stanford, or to go to another space company. And he had never worked at any company before. He's interned at a few places. And I had obviously the Cambridge offer on the table. So we both decided, let's just move to San Francisco. Let's work on a company because this is so fun. And I love the idea of being able to work for myself, and it doesn't feel like work. Like it's something I'd be excited waking up every morning to work on because it's your baby. You're like doing this and you feel that sense of ownership. We try to give that same level of ownership and pride to every person that works at our company. And I think we can do that by keeping the company small and the team small. But I think that was that moment, August 2016, when we said, let's go all in. My co-founder had about $400 of savings in his bank account. And he moved out to San Francisco. I had some savings from Microsoft. We really, really were scrappy and bootstrapped and very cautious. Like we had very little money. I think we had less money than like what minimum wage is, right? So clearly very little money in the savings account. We all put in our own money to start the company because we didn't have VCs at the time. We got some small angel checks here and there to help pay for servers, rent, and food bills. But it was very humble beginnings for us, and we like to remember our roots where we came from.
Take us to those early days and how did you guys stay motivated and were able to stay positive and not give up?
Every day is a roller coaster ride. Some days you feel like, why am I doing this? Other days we're like, wow, this is like so exciting, innovative stuff. Like this is going to work. Like, of course, we should be doing this all along. A lot of trial and error. What you see in the movies where someone tries something, it works the first time, and then there's overnight success. Nothing could be further from the truth. Maybe 1 in every 10 million people that happens. But for the majority of people, it's constant failure and like the willingness not to give up and just keep clawing back over and over again. We built 7 products that failed. We had to iterate. You know, people like to use this nice word called pivot. We were like the masters of pivoting because one thing wouldn't work, another thing wouldn't work. But each time we learned something, and each time we learned to fail fast and not spend so much time trying to build something. Each time we try to get validation quickly. And eventually we landed on the meeting space, and we realized that everyone has meetings. They spend a lot of time in meetings, but people don't remember what was said in meetings. So what if we can build AI that takes notes for you, that organizes all your conversations, gives you perfect memory and recall over everything you talked about? Started off as a simple idea. And the thing I like to say is sometimes scaling the simplest ideas is the hardest because it has to work really well and you have to execute really well. A lot of times founders have these complex abstract ideas where their product does 1,000 different things. But the problem there is that you're not really solving any one problem. You're doing a bunch of little different things. So I've learned a lot in terms of being more clear and not being afraid if something is simple, because a lot of times we think, oh, this is simple, it's easily copyable, it's not that big, this can't really be a product. This is just like a little feature, but simple is good. And when you start like going into the layers, you realize it's not that simple of a product. Like Twitter is not that simple of a product under the hood, right? For the end user, it's just like you tweeting and then seeing other people's tweets. But think about the scale and infrastructure and the resources needed to maintain that, right? The newsfeed, the algorithms, the latencies, the downtime, trending, the hashtag. There's so much that goes into it. So never underestimate simple things because at scale, they are very, very complicated. Otherwise, we would have 100 Twitters today.